The following is a production of DallasCowboys.com and the Dallas Cowboys Football Club.
How about them Cowboys? Yeah!
Go Cowboys!
Blowing out of the backfield, exploding down the sideline.
This is Hangin' with the Boys, presented by Wingstop, where flavor gets its wings. Now, your hosts, Jesse Holley, Kurt Daniels, and Nate Newton.
What's happening? Happy Hump Day! Hump. We almost there, Nate. We almost at the end of the week, man. Hump Day. Live view, live look at the Steelers from Levenson Plaza in front of the Ford Center, where the high today is 90 degrees. Right now, it's 86 degrees. That is Nate Newton. Kurt will be with us shortly. He is doing some real good Kurt things, interviewing. He will be with us shortly. I am Jesse Holley. No, we're not doing ED today. He's doing some stuff for DallasCowboys.com. I am Jesse Holley. Together, we are hanging with the boys, the sports talk equivalent of Braille. People feel us when we speak. Shannon wanted me to tell you guys that he's recovering well from his BBL surgery. That thing is thangin'. He cheeked up. He double cheeked up now over there. So Shannon continue to heal from that surgery, man. And when you get back on your feet, man, throw that thing in a circle for us. You feel me? Yeah. Nate, you good?
I'm good, man. This is a beautiful day. And Jess, man, just take it where you want to take it because we got our offense. The Dallas Cowboys offense, not ours.
Yes.
Versus that. So you ride, man. I mean, you got something on your mind today.
No, man.
You got a smile on your face
this
today.
This segment is brought to you by Wingstop, where flavor gets its wings. No, I'm an offensive guy. So I'm always excited about offense. But as this thing begins to evolve and we're starting to see this offense play differently.
Okay.
We can give credit to Kellen Moore. We can give credit to Mike McCarthy. He came out 2 weeks ago and said, hey, I'm going to get with Kellen Moore. We need to be smarter as a whole in how we do things. So I'm going to get with Kellen Moore to make sure that we do that. And it seems as if that's happening,
yes, it's
working.
Right.
Cooper Rush has been playing solid football. And I know people want to make this quarterback controversy because he's won 2 games this season, a game last year. So he's 3-0 as a starter.
Right.
But when you start watching this team offensively, I'm starting to see things in this current iteration of Cowboys offense that I didn't see with the Cowboys. And I'm not trying to pit the two together, but what Kellen Moore and Mike McCarthy has done for Cooper Rush, if you go back and maybe this happened because of lack of playmakers or receivers.
Right.
But when you look at the personnel, I don't have all the numbers. Kurt will be here. He'll be able to find them for us.
Yes.
But you know, being able to see that this team is playing a lot more 2 tight end set, a lot more 12 personnel, 13 personnel. I mean, they've made an absolute effort to say that we're going to max protect or give them a lot of help in protection to allow Cooper Rush to have these passes and plays develop down the field. Now, even the plays that develop down the field are not deep plays. And that could be because you don't have a guy like Michael Gallup.
Yes.
Who's not a part of this offense currently. We'll get more into what he said about his ability, from last week to this week and why he didn't play last week. But the more I watch this offense, Nate, the more I begin to see that they've done a really good job of saying, we're going to protect Cooper Rush better, and we're going to make Cooper Rush have 1, maybe 2 reads in his progression. And I almost think that's.
Take your time. Take your time. You going where Big News want to go. Take your time, Jesse.
I almost think it's unfair to Dak Prescott.
Uh-huh.
And I get it. You give him $40 million and you want him to open up the world and you want him to do all these different things. But in the same respect is you knew that your offensive line wasn't the best, and yet you still try to do things as if it was. 3 wide receivers and 11 personnel and 7-step drops.
Spread it out.
And, ultimately it cost you. it cost your quarterback being hurt. Now, it didn't cost you in games because you're 2-0 since he's been hurt.
Right.
But what if they took the same approach with Dak Prescott and saying, we're going to protect you better. We're going to do 2 tight ends. We're going to be in more 12 personnel. We're going to be in more 13 personnel and only give you the ability to just go ahead and just make the read and throw the football.
Like they used to do?
Like they used to do.
And I used to sit right here, and I used to be like, when is Dak going to take over? You know what? Watch Tampa Bay. Watch Green Bay. And their quarterbacks, without being told, will bring in them tight ends sometime. They will motion and change it to a run sometime. All they're telling this young kid, and he's not young, 6 years in the league, Cooper Rush, these are your 2 plays. Choose and go with it. And I said that after the first game. I said, what is the difference? And you put it in a nice way, saying, hey, he don't know as much as Dak or he da-da-da. But the bottom line is, even I heard some people on our flagship say when they asked Dak, how is he learning anything, say, no, it's not that I'm learning anything. It's just now that I'm seeing how simple the game is. I've been making it a little bit too hard for myself. Get this right, make the perfect. Only thing you want to do as a quarterback, and you tell me if I'm wrong, you've been closest to those situations, is don't be in the worst play. You can it's hard to be not in the greatest play, but don't be in that play that gets you a loss.
Right.
And so I think Dak has put a lot of pressure on himself to be this great, not only leader, but to show the world that he can pass all over the place. You don't have to do that. All you have to do, when I say I want the rookie Dak back, the rookie Dak just wanted to win the game.
Yeah.
And I'm not saying he don't want to win the game now, but he's putting so much pressure on himself that it makes him hitch. It makes him look like he don't know what he's doing. Well, he's overthinking the game. And I think when he come back, it'll be so simple.
Now, my question to
barring
you is,
injury to other positions.
Now, what makes – because this isn't the first time he's been hurt.
Yes.
Right? He had the ankle injury.
Yes, sir.
He had the calf injury.
Yes, sir.
So what makes this time being out and having to watch your backup play, because Cooper Rush was his backup last year and won a football game, and then we went to the bye week and he was able to come back after some time for that. What makes this time different than the other 2 times when he had to sit and watch and wait for his turn to get back on the field due to injury? Was those not his thoughts then?
When he broke his ankle, it was all over. I mean, you don't really care about that. Thing is dangerous. You don't really care about no football. What you care about is getting back, rehabbing, getting yourself to the point where you can throw a football again. When he hurt his calf, he really wasn't out but 1 game. You don't have time to think and look. He's had time to think and look. 2 games give you opportunity to say, because the good guys, the guys that care about this game and care about their team and care about how they're presenting themselves, going to do some self-evaluation. And now the loss was so bad against Tampa Bay that it made everybody got everybody in check mode. From the COO of Stephen Jones, because that's who I heard say, CeeDee Lamb, we got to pick your game up. From the head coach saying, we're going to go over the roster a little bit longer, the playbook roster.
The play sheet.
A little bit longer. So everybody kind of got pointed at and called out. So now you on check now. Everybody's on. We checking the box not only on our quarterback, but we checking it on our offensive coordinator. We checking it on our supposedly number 1 receiver, which I still think he's gonna be fine at that. So everybody's on check, bro.
So now, do you fear? Because now you're talking about Michael Gallup presumably will come back against the Commanders this week. Michael Gallup came out this week and said, the reason I did not play last week was mentally, wasn't physically, mentally, I was not in a place where I felt comfortable to play. He said he saw what happened to Chris Godwin in Tampa Bay and was saying, I just want to make sure that I'm ready. And he felt like he wasn't ready last week. Now, maybe that may change this week and he may feel like he's ready to go. But when you get Gallup back and when you get Schultz back, and now when you come back in here, and whether that's Peter's at left guard and Tyler Smith is rolling, my fear is, does this offense, and you get Dak back, does this offense revert back to what it was initially? Because here's the thing, Noah Brown has played admirably. I'm not going to say he's played admirably. He had a really poor game in the first game, had a decent game. He had a really good game in the second game, and had a decent game in the third game. Right? So he's played admirably. He's played like a NFL number 3-4 receiver. Right. But when you add Michael Gallup to the mix, now you're talking about having your 1, your 2, and your 3, and then whatever Jalen Tolbert is going to be for this team, 4.
Is Washington gone for the year?
No, he's just got cleared to run. So James Washington has got cleared to run. So it'll be a few weeks before he gets back. But now you have this 1-2 punch with Pollard and Zeke. You've committed to this running game. Right. The offensive line seems to be okay.
They know what to do with them. They know how to use them. They know how to use them. They know how to use them.
They're not what we were in 2016, 2017, but they're okay. When Dak comes back, do you continue on this chord of, hey, we're taking profit. We're gonna take this profit. We're gonna take these 1-2 read passing plays, because that's essentially what happens when you are in this 12 personnel type situation. And your 2 tight ends are mainly in there to block. So now your reads become either the X or the Z or the check down.
This is what I want to say this right, because I've liked, even against Tampa, I've liked what Coach McCarthy, his attitude, his demeanor. I've loved it because he's not changed. This is where you look at your quarterback in the eye and say, several plays we're going to call, and we need for you to just stay with it. I don't care how great a quarterback you become and what you see on the field. Sometimes the coach is going to say, we're going to make a few calls, and we need you to stay with it. See, most quarterbacks, when they're young and up until the 8th, 9th year, until they get to that Tom Brady status, or until they get to that status of what the guy is in Green Bay, they're going to always change from a run to a better pass play, because you get more yardage if you're successful. Well, even the greats start to realize 10th year, 11th year, you know what? I ain't got to throw this thing all over the field to win this game. And that's what Dak got to see. Sometimes let's stay with this run if it's the right run. Mm-hmm. So that's all Dak got to do, is just go out, be that rookie Dak that did what it take to win games. If it's changing the play, make sure you're good. See, when you change your play, make sure you're good. That read you see, it can't be, I thought it was there and it left me, because you just changed the play. Right. So that read you changed to, it's got to be there. And you got to be ready to throw that ball there. So that's all I see. And that's all I've been saying from the first week when that kid, I say, man, Jesse, and I told to Isaiah, hey, look like he's getting the ball out a little quicker. Look like, well, it's because he got less responsibilities. Well, we in the second week, okay, we going to use that. And if he have success, win, lose, or draw in this game, and he looks the same, some questions going to be asked. Not of me and you doubting Dak, but of can the coach just say, hey, man, let's run with this a little bit.
And to your point, Nate, right now, Cooper Rush is the second fastest quarterback in the National Football League of getting the ball out. Tom Brady's at 2.4. Right. Cooper Rush is at 2.46. Right. So he's not too far behind. But, again, that comes down to, hey, I'm going here. That's where I'm going. And we're going to make this easy. All right, we're going to take a break. Come on back. We're going to talk about this. I got to make sure I don't say the other word. The Commanders' defense. This once feared defense has kind of not so much been fearful anymore. That vaunted defensive front has kind of been a little bit shaky. Ron Rivera, Jack Del Rio. We're going to talk a little bit about that and how the Cowboys can attack that defense. Stay right here with us with Hanging with the Boys.
I'm Dak Prescott, quarterback of the Dallas Cowboys. Blockchain.com is one of the most trusted ways to buy, sell, and trade crypto. Whether you're always on the go or stay closer to home, Blockchain.com is just a few taps away. Put the power of crypto in your pocket, so no matter where you are, you can trade on your terms and build a crypto portfolio to fit your life. For crypto pros, rookies, and anyone in between, blockchain.com makes it easy to own a piece of the future. Blockchain.com, trusted by millions, trusted by America's team.
SeatGeek has your back no matter what kind of fan you are. So whether you're a die-hard fan or a don't really care fan, a we got 'em next time fan or we'll never win again fan, a here for the tailgate fan or a first one through the gates fan, SeatGeek not only makes buying and selling tickets easier than ever before, they made just about everything else easier too. So whether you're a here every week fan or haven't been here in years fan, SeatGeek has you covered. Download the SeatGeek app today. SeatGeek, your ticket to great seats.
Star Sports Tours is the only official fan travel partner of the Dallas Cowboys, offering exclusive game weekend travel packages with pre-game sideline access and photo ops with current players, cheerleaders, and Cowboy legends. You want to stay at a team hotel, attend the best tailgate party in Texas, tour the Star, and talk X's and O's with me, Everson Walls? With Star Sports Tours, you can. Visit cowboystravel.com to book your travel package today.
Hey Cowboys fans, ready to spice up your next watch party? Bring Yo Quiero guacamole and be the game day hero. Yo Quiero means I want, and we know you want great, fresh-tasting, ready-to-serve guacamole for your home gating and tailgating events. Made with real avocados and the perfect blend of spices, it will be the star of any party. You can find us at your local Albertsons or Tom Thumb in the deli section. If you can't find it, talk to your store manager and tell them, Yo Quiero guacamole.
Back to Hangin'.
Welcome back to Hanging with the Boys on this marvelous Hump Day Wednesday. This segment is brought to you by Blockchain, blockchain.com. Also, Game Day Minicamp. Join former NFL players for our first Game Day Minicamp presented by Invisalign. Drop your kids off at Ford Center on October 2nd from 11:30 to 3:30 while you watch the Cowboys take on the Washington Commanders from your favorite restaurant in the Star District. To register for your football camp, visit dallascowboys.com/academy. Drop those little rascals off, man, and then go to, what is that over at D. Lincoln? D. Lincoln is pretty good, man. It's pretty good. So, Cowboys taking on the Washington Commanders this Sunday, noon game. I like noon games. We get in, we get out. You're not here all day. You know what I mean? If those that don't know, a lot of times you got to get here an hour or two before you actually go on there, then actually be on there, then watch the game, then be there after, and then finally get home. So, those noon games, we get in early, we get out early.
You get home by 9.
The sun's still up. Not for the noon games.
For me, about 9, because we do the pre and post.
How long is the post game show?
Yeah, we may get on by 7:38, but it just depends on what the big shows want, the big TVs want to do. So,
I got you. Yeah, we get it in on my show. We get it in. We get up out of there. We get up out of there. But there was a time that this Washington Commander defense was thought of as being not only one of the best defensive fronts in the NFC East, but one of the best defensive fronts in all of football. Mm-hmm. Now, I get it. You got, Chase is still dealing with his situation, but you had guys like Sweat, and you had the
Ron Payne, Jonathan Allen.
The Allen boys. Now, I don't know what happened, but I remember last year when we played them, they got into a little bit of got
into a fight.
They got into a little scuffle on the sideline, and it was, and rightfully so. As men, you can't point your finger in my face and tell me anything.
Right.
That cost me at one point in time in my life from someone putting their finger in my face telling me something. So I get it. I understand it. I understand how that goes. But it seems like from that point that this defensive front has not been what they were in the past. Right now, this defense is 28th in yards and 27th in points given up. I mean, that's bad. I mean, you're talking about
27.3 points a game.
You're talking about being in the realm of the worst in the National Football League when this has been a strength for this team. They've been searching for a quarterback for a long time, and they've been through all of the Heinekes and the Fitzmagics, and now they're with Carson Wentz. This defense has been the cornerstone for this team, and that just hasn't been the answer for them this season, Nate.
It started.
Jack Del Rio is the defensive coordinator. Ron Rivera, who's a defensive, head coach. You would think that it would be better. What are you seeing on film that's kind of made you shake your head and saying, "Man, it ain't what it used to be"?
They still flashing. Instead of being a dominant front that moves forward and gashing on the pass and the run, and playing like an offensive line, like we gonna play on your side of the line of scrimmage. They flash. I mean, you see Deron Payne a flash, number 93. Jonathan Hill just flash. But, between the two of them, they don't have one sack.
Yeah.
A couple of quarterback hits. You would expect more from a guy like Deron Payne, drafted number 1 for them in the year, 18-1. He was 2018, he was 1. The kid Allen came next year, as a 1. You get Montez Sweat. He comes in 19 as a 1.
Mm-hmm.
You are not developing. You are not taking it to the next level. And that got me kind of nervous because normally the Cowboys, if one of our division opponents in the East is playing bad and need to try to get themselves going, they got enough talent.
Right.
We've seen this talent do what it needed to do. And then they got Jamin Davis, J-M-I-N.
Yeah.
Jamin Davis, he's 21-1. They got like 5 first, and I ain't gave you the best one, Young, who's hurt.
Mm-hmm.
They got 5 number 1s that have shown to have great ability, individual ability, but they don't play as a team well. They do.
Now, you played for Jack Del Rio.
I played with Jack Del Rio. Yeah,
Like, what is he, aside of the comments that he made earlier in this year? And I don't know if that's maybe a factor, right? He had the whole January 6th comments that come out. And maybe, you've had some guys come out after that and go, I don't really care about none of that. Can he help me coach football? Right? And so some guys may have internalized that. Could that be a thing? Could Jack Del Rio may not be reaching the players? Because to your point, when you got 5 first-round picks on your defense
that can play,
it should be different. Like your defense should be in the conversation of what our defense is.
Yes.
When you got 5, and you're talking about 5 pieces that can move, that can change games.
Yes.
When you got defensive linemen like that who can create and disrupt an offensive performance because they're just whooping offensive linemen left and right. When you got linebackers, you got good cornerbacks. Everything. You got good players at every single level on your defense. You should be able to almost kind of perform as if we're performing, saying, "Hey, Carson Wentz, we don't need you to turn water into wine.
Right.
We don't need a miracle. We don't need you to feed 5,000 with sardines and biscuits. We just need you not to turn the football over, and we're going to take care of the rest."
They only got 1 interception, no fumble recoveries. The third down rate, that's pretty good. Only 30% versus them. How do you function? How do you go to bed at night? Is somebody got to take leadership of that defense and say, this is what we need to do? They run a 4-man front. So ain't no natural gaps. They're like in a 3-4.
Right.
They got the front covered. And that's one of the challenges this week is our center and guards going to have their hands full if these 2 horses decide to play, Payne and Allen. If they decide to play up front, we're going to have our hands full, and then we got to attack the outside a little bit more, which we've been doing. But, Jesse, I'm telling you, and this is the killer for me. And a lot of people don't buy into this the way I do. Whether they on the road or at home, they averaging 32 minutes of offense. That means your defense is fresh. They have no reason not to play.
Yeah. So let me ask you this question, Nate. When you're the Cowboys and you're riding a 2-game winning streak, you defeated the Cincinnati Bengals, who won the Super Bowl last year. The Giants were one of the last 3 undefeated teams in the league and you defeat them, and you're feeling kind of good about yourself, right? Cooper Rush got some confidence. Tank, he going to do his talking. He got 3 sacks in a game, and Mike is going to be Mike. I mean, there is a bunch of confidence that is oozing throughout this locker room. As a coach, is this one of those games where you say to your team, as Bill Parcells used to say, don't bite the cheese? Mm-hmm. Because you at times, I guess it's human nature, can look around and go, okay, we thought since he was going to be a real challenge, we beat him. The Giants were 2-0, but they were a scary kind of team. They could go either way, but we beat them.
Right.
And then you go, after the Commanders, we got the Rams, we got Philly. Defending Super Bowl champions, which is going to be a good football team, and then we're seeing what Philly's doing right now. Is this that game where you and you exhale a little bit because you're saying, hey, we should beat them, and kind of peeking a little bit towards week 5 and 6 with the Rams and Philly, and this team comes up and bites you a little bit on the butt?
This is your 4th and final preseason game. You can't do that. This team, I would be looking to feast because they averaging giving up 128 yards rushing. Now, Zeke, Pollard, whoever you got running the ball, your little sweeps, your little reverses, single reverses, not double or triple, but your single reverses that you've been having success with, this is a game where you can feast. And they cannot come back. This is a team that said, hey, y'all, I promise you, if you get 9 points up, we can't come back.
Right.
And to ensure that we don't, you got Parsons in the posse. So, Jess, come on, man.
Parsons in the posse.
Yeah, that's who they are.
Yeah.
Because I don't care how many sacks Mr. Strong get, how many sacks D. Law get, Anthony Barr, Wilson running out of there, Leighton. Is one man. If you take him off of there, yeah.
Life's a little bit different.
Yeah, I don't know if you ever seen the movie Posse, but you take Jesse out of there, you just got dudes running around again.
and that's the thing that, if I'm Mike McCarthy, if I'm Dan Quinn, I'm preaching all this week, short week. Right? You don't have that same recovery time.
Rest.
You don't have that same rest time. Things have to get, normally you have that 24 hours to kind of celebrate and kind of almost feel yourself a little bit and then put it behind you and then get to work. But it's been get right back to work. And you've seen some guys, Micah, who was dealing with his situation, last week. He looked tired in that game. He looked a little bit winded in that game. D. Law is coming back from the foot injury. I mean, there are a host of guys who kind of deal a little bit of everything. But that's my fear. My fear is that they kind of look at this game and go, look at these booty juice jokers.
No, man. No.
And slip up.
Sweat, 19-1. A year, 2019, he's a 1.
First round pick,
man. This Davis kid, linebacker, got 3 sacks. Two against 2 versus the Eagles and 1 against the Lions. So I mean, the dude ain't no joke. They can control some games, man. And on that back end, they ain't the best on the back end, but they can hold up. And Nicole Holcomb is his name, the linebacker,
Tar Heel.
The middle linebacker.
Tar Heel.
This dude gonna try to test Zeke. He gonna try to test Tony Pollard, especially in blitz, coming downhill situations. Cause Coach Rivera, I've read some of the little stuff saying offensively, we're not a wide receiver team. What he's trying to tell his offensive coordinator, Scott Turner, let's get the ball to everybody, our tight ends and running backs. He specifically said I should be waiting till tomorrow to say that, but it's on my mind right now. Mm-hmm. Jack Del Rio, I know him personally. He is hot. He don't want this thing coming back to him. Jack want this thing to prosper because Jack always thinking next step.
Right.
I need another shot at being a head coach. So he know he needs to clean this defense up. And I'm telling you, look at the film, and they're playing. They're running to the ball, but it's always after a gain. It reminds me of 2 years ago of our defense. It's like they're playing hard, but it's like if you need 3rd and 5, they get 3rd and 5. They need, 2nd and 7, they get, and they tackle them right there with 8-yard gain.
Right.
It's like they're a step slower. Now they'll flash, boom, and they'll almost get there. They got a lot of hits on Jalen Hurts this last game. They played fairly well against Detroit, and they really went at Jacksonville. Jacksonville is just young and dumb and didn't know no better. I know what you thought I was going to say. Yeah, but they didn't know no better.
Dumb and full of it, baby.
Yeah. So, man, I'm with you, Jess, because I'm scared because when you got those many first-round picks, and then they went and got old John Ridgeway. Yeah, he got some time in the game. I'm like, John Ridgeway get down here with us. We don't have all them first-round picks like that, but Big John can get on the field for us. Wow.
All right, we'll take our last and final break. When we come back, we're going to talk a little bit about this offense. The Cowboys are going to some young guys and those tight ends. Talk a little bit about CeeDee Lamb. It's for me, it's the frustrating part of CeeDee Lamb. When you see the greatness, but you also see the inconsistencies, will he be able to finally kind of put it together and really help this team? And we'll see what this Cowboys offense can do against this defense. Will the clock strike 12 on Cooper Rush? I don't know.
Wow,
we'll
man.
talk about it.
That's ugly, man.
Stay right here.
I ain't going for that. No, the clock ain't going to strike on this man. That's ugly.
Hey, Cowboys fans, ready to spice up your next watch party? Bring Yo Quiero guacamole and be the game day hero. Yo Quiero means I want, and we know you want great, fresh-tasting, ready-to-serve guacamole for your home gating and tailgating events. Made with real avocados and the perfect blend of spices, it will be the star of any party. You can find us at your local Albertsons or Tom Thumb in the deli section. If you can't find it, talk to your store manager and tell them, Yo Quiero guacamole.
SeatGeek has your back no matter what kind of Cowboys fan you are. So whether you're a diehard fan or a don't really care fan, a we got 'em next time fan or we'll never win again fan, a here for the tailgate fan or a first one through the gates fan, SeatGeek not only makes buying and selling tickets easier than ever before, they made just about everything else easier too. So whether you're a here every week fan or haven't been here in years fan, SeatGeek has you covered. Download the SeatGeek app today. SeatGeek, your ticket to great Dallas Cowboys seats.
I'm Dak Prescott, quarterback of the Dallas Cowboys. Blockchain.com is one of the most trusted ways to buy, sell, and trade crypto. Whether you're always on the go or stay closer to home, Blockchain.com is just a few taps away. Put the power of crypto in your pocket, so no matter where you are, you can trade on your terms and build a crypto portfolio to fit your life. For crypto pros, rookies, and anyone in between, Blockchain.com makes it easy to own a piece of the future. Blockchain.com, trusted by millions, trusted by America's team.
Hey, Cowboys fans, if you're thinking about attending a game this season, visit cowboystravel.com to book your travel package today. Stay at the team hotel, have dinner with a Cowboys legend, and experience AT&T Stadium's exclusive VIP Owners Club. Also, tour the Star, get autographs from your favorite players, and talk X's and O's with me, Mickey Spagnola. The official travel partner of the Dallas Cowboys will take care of all your travel needs. Visit cowboystravel.com.
Back to Hangin' with the Boys.
Welcome back to Hanging with the Boys. I am Jesse Holly. That is Nate Newton. We're talking about the Cowboys offense versus the Washington Commanders defense as they take the field this Sunday at 12 noon. It's a home game, right?
Yes,
at
it
AT&T Stadium. Make sure you get out there early because Washington doesn't travel really well, but the Cowboys are excited about this. Cowboys fans are excited about this football team. So they get out there early. I'll be at Texas Live. You can come holler at me. You guys will be here.
Yes.
Inside or you guys outside?
No, we're inside, man. I don't think they really want to go outside. I think we're going to do something later on in the year over at the stadium. So
okay. Well, I'll be at Texas Live, so you can come holler at me. If you see me, just be like, yo, hanging with the boys, Jets, what's up? I always show love. Don't try to talk to me while I'm on air. People always do that. Do people do that to you? If you do shows that are like out in the open, I never understand that. Like people will see me on air, talking on air, and they'll be like, hey, Jess, what's up, man? Hey, what do you think about? And I'll be like, dude, I'm literally talking about football.
And if you want to listen, I can tell you what you just about to ask me. If you'd have got here earlier, you would have heard with the same thing I just explained.
Absolutely. Cowboys offense versus the Commanders defense. And, we watched the last game, and the first half CeeDee Lamb wasn't the second half CeeDee Lamb. And I call Michael Irvin like he is the biggest ambassador of the 88.
Yes.
Like, I know Dez and I know Drew, but nobody is the bigger ambassador, and I tell people this all the time. Michael Irvin needs 88s to stay alive.
Yes, he does.
Not because he wants all the 88s to have success. He does. He honestly does. But the 88 staying alive means Michael Irvin's name stays alive. And if you've seen Michael Irvin all this week, he went to church and he did the whole thing about the 8s meaning what did he say? He said the 8s meaning new life.
Right.
That's what 8 means in the Bible, and how he got new life with the 8s and been forgiven, and how CeeDee Lamb came out that first half and dropped what would have been a wide open walk-in touchdown pass and had other drops in that first half. And then he came and he had that CD drive. He had that drive where he went down there and he made a huge 4th down catch, made another 3rd down catch, and then he had the one-handed grab in the back of the end zone for the touchdown. And some may have called that redemptive and said, hey, all else is good in the land of CeeDee Lamb, because he had that drive and it ultimately helped this football team win a game. But as the number 1 receiver, even when he was the number 2 receiver, the one thing that has been frustrating to me about CeeDee Lamb is those inconsistencies. We've watched him at Oklahoma. We've watched him in practice. We've seen him in games. We'll have some absolutely spectacular plays. And then the ones that he's supposed to make?
The ones that will keep the chains moving.
Drops. The ones that he's supposed to come in with?
The one that will keep you getting to the red zone.
Drops. And now he'll come back and he'll make a play later on, but it's those type of things to me that disqualifies you from being in that premium wide receiver 1 conversation.
Yes.
And it's those type of things that have hampered this football team when it mattered the most in the playoffs against good division, good opponents, whether that be in division or out of division. So when you're looking at CeeDee Lamb, what do you call him? Would you call him, from your perspective, a number 1? Not because he plays it as a position, but would you consider him, being around the players that you've been around in your career and what you've covered over your career?
See that? That's a loaded question.
Not a loaded question.
You know that's loaded.
Not a loaded question.
Who I played with?
Not a loaded question.
Did I not play with Mike Irvin? Did I not come in on the back of Drew? Did I not come in?
They all were 88s, right?
Yeah.
All right, so who better than to talk about the 88s than the person that played with both 88s?
I didn't play with the original 88, but this is
the back end.
And this is where we have to give this kid some leadway, because
you asked for a little grace.
Yeah, okay, I'm giving it to him because I told you when you was over here. Wow, first chair now. When everybody don't come into this, some people have to grow and demand that respect. And CeeDee gonna have. I've always said him and Michael Gallup. If Michael Gallup, you come in here and you want to be 1A or 2A or however they number y'all, catch the small ball. That's where Michael Irvin and Drew and the big beast that played with Detroit so many years,
Megatron,
they caught the small ball, the quick slant. What he did on that 4th down, and that dude almost took his head off, that was, now you starting to make people say, ooh, okay. That makes people take notice. Yes, that.
Look at there.
Wow.
The white man finally late. You'll never see that, right?
I knew something like that was coming out your mouth.
CP time.
I was going to call him number 1 receiver.
I wasn't even going to come in.
Look, CP time.
Yeah.
CP time.
Well, you better quit hanging around these black folk.
You hang around these black folks.
I missed you guys. I wasn't going to come by, and I said, nah, I got to see these guys.
Come on.
But CeeDee, he's going to have to earn it. He's going to have to take it. And he's going to have to take it by, number 1, catching the small balls. That's the balls that move the chains. That's the balls that where you may be setting up somebody else for something bigger later on.
Mm-hmm.
You have to do all that dirty work. And when the team sees that and you start showing that, now Tampa this is what got everybody. He didn't prove to Tampa that he was the number one. Tampa just said, we're going to make sure that you don't be effective. Let's see what everybody else can do. Now, this game here in the second half, if that's the only thing they could see, now they would know they would have to come after him in special situations. Because I don't worry about 3rd and 25. That's a high-risk play anyway. But 3rd and 2, 3rd and 4, 3rd and 7, makeable catches, that's the downs I worry about, Jess. When we sitting on the 50-yard line and it's 3rd and 4 and we need to go and we can't afford to take that big shot because our defense has been tired, I need you to hook up on this 5-yard slant. I need you to hook up and get hit in the ribs.
Yeah. And that's been one of my criticisms of CeeDee Lamb is that if you're going to be the number one receiver, and we look across the league and you see a lot of number one receivers.
Right.
You see Stephon Diggs and passes behind him, passes high. He go and gets them.
He makes plays.
We saw Cooper Kupp in this all year long, Triple Crown winner.
And doing it now.
It now. I mean, so there are a number of examples across the football landscape when you're saying, dude, you got to show up. Like, number one, you got to show up all the time. You can't have this. You can't have those type of mistakes in those moments, because that could have cost you. That could have actually cost you. So when you play these good football teams, those mistakes you may not be able to rebound from. And so Kurt, when you look at that, when Dak comes back, is it going to be, hey, I got to force it into CeeDee Lamb, or I got to get Michael Gallup going, or anything like that? Like, how do you think this receiving core is going to be received once it comes back full strength?
Well, I like the idea of you get the ball in your best player's hands. Like, Rams get it to Cooper Kupp. Everybody knows it's going to go to him. And so I think you saw that some with in this last game. I mean, I want to say outside of I think Lamb had, 8, 7, 12 targets, something like that. And Noah Brown had another 7 or something like that. After that, everybody else had 1, I think. I mean, aside from the running backs maybe. So,
boy, I tell you, he been listening to Big News. Boy, come on over, Kurt. Come on over, baby. Come on over to the fat side.
I like the idea. I like the idea. I mean, did that second half show you that he could be a number one?
And that's the frustrating part.
Yeah.
Because you see that.
You set him up perfect.
That's the frustrating part. Because you see that. You see him have that drive.
Right.
And like to Nate's point, he had the fourth down catch where the dude almost decapitated him, held onto the football. Had another big play, held onto the football. Then he goes in the slant, boom, one-hand catch for a touchdown. You're saying, what the hell, CD? Do this all the time,
game long.
Yeah. Like, you shouldn't have to have 2 or 3 drops to refocus you, or to have that bad stuff happen to refocus you.
Is that just being a young guy, or?
No.
Young. This is year what for him? 3, 4?
No, there's no.
Man. Young is Jalen Tolbert.
Okay.
Yeah. Young is Houston.
Everybody's young to me. So.
Yeah, I get it. But no, like, in football years, in football years, no, absolutely not. Like, especially when this team is dependent on you to be that guy. And
Young really went out the window when Mr. Jones said, "See you, Amari."
Yeah.
Hey, CD, come on in here.
That's really what it came down to. There was a level of, we have so much faith in you.
Yeah.
Despite our personal beef we got over here with number 19.
Yeah.
It's on you now. So Young is out the door. So I don't know, but we'll see. We'll see what happens, and we'll see if that second half of the game is what kind of ignited the fire in CeeDee Lamb, and will he? Because he'll have opportunities in this game.
But can I ask you this though?
Sure.
When he's on the bench, kind of down on himself, I know some guys supposedly went up to him and said, "Hey, get right, get back. We still need you." Do guys ever go up and say, "Dude, you got to catch that"?
Oh, cool. Of course.
Oh, yeah.
But his close friends will say that.
Yeah,
His close guys. But guys like me will stay away.
Yeah. Of course. Oh no.
Unless it's Michael Irvin. Like it's Michael Irvin, I'll be looking at Mike like, "You telling me to block?"
Yeah.
He said, "But we had a different relationship on our team."
I promise you, when they got into that wide receiver meeting room, afterwards, that play came up.
Yeah.
Jokers was like, yeah, all right.
They let him
yeah,
have it.
Yeah, you let guys have it. So, all right, tomorrow we're working on the Booty Juice Commanders offense.
Wow.
Against one of the most, if not the most dominant defense in all of football.
You know what, man? You got to stop with that old bad criticism. You may crank them dudes up, man.
Listen, if they get cranked up by what I say, they mind in the wrong place.
Yeah.
Because I ain't going to do a jack thing on Sunday but talk my talk. So if they listen to what I say, then their focus is
They
all
may be
off.
listening to you, man.
Well, if you're listening to me,
You're
Commanders offense, y'all suck.
Yep.
Real bad.
You need to get
Booty
paid more.
juice
If they're
suck.
listening to you, you need to get paid
for
more.
real. Y'all Nate Newton Gooch after a 100-degree day of him taking a job.
Pastor.
Taking a job.
Pastor, where are you?
Pastor Q, I love you. We'll hear from you on Friday. But come back with us tomorrow. Cowboys defense, the Booty Juice Commanders offense.
And Kurt will show up on time,
I'll be on time.
hopefully.
Kurt will be on time, and he'll be
How your credit so good he show up late? Wow.
That's what happened. Your credit good. You can show up late. You can show up whenever you want when you got good credit. I'm Jesse Holly. He is Nate Newton. That is Kurt Daniels. Chris is in the back keeping it down. Bro,
That
Willie.
Braille Phyllis.
Bro, Willie, if you don't get our stuff up on time, I'm going to have
Come
to
on, bro. Willie, you hurting us,
Come
man.
on,
We
man.
falling in the numbers.
Let's go.
We got to get Shannon back. You see where our numbers at, because we don't
let's-
you got to start checking on our numbers. You got to start going to games.
Yeah.
For real, man.
All right, fellas, we're out of here, man. Same time, same place.
Thank you,
tomorrow.
Chris Beam.
Thank you, Chris Beam. Jazzy Jibs. Jazzy
Oh,
audio.
that's audio.
Audio Jazz.
Jazz.
We love you.
Yeah.
Hanging with the boys. We out.
This has been a production of DallasCowboys.com and the Dallas Cowboys Football Club.